Riro Ron! I got Riro from Star Project Rising China. Hello, 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 hello! Hello, 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 hello! How are you doing today? How are you doing today? Hello! Hello, hello! How you doing today? I just had a tea with candy. Can you guess what's candy? Maybe you can guess because I talked on Twitter about it a little bit. Yeah, today I went outside with my grandma, and we have been in a grocery store. No, it's not sour candy. It's not sour candy. It's Russian candy. Yes, it's like a lot of different candy. I can't even describe them. They're like so different than the like there is no European version, for example, of these ones. They're very nice. Do you know what I also have here? I have bread crisp sour cream with herbs flavor, and obviously my babies. Obviously my babies. Doing good? I'm glad you're doing good. I'm glad you're doing good. Happy Monday! How's your start of the week, huh? How's your start of the week? Mine was pretty fine, even though I had to wake up like very early today. And I had to do like important stuff. You know, like paperwork and stuff, you know? But yeah, at least it was a productive day. It was a productive day. And it wasn't too annoying, it's just that I wasn't able to sleep a lot. But it's fun because yesterday I slept like for the whole day, I think. So it's fine. The adult stuff, yes, that's just one more proof that I'm actually an adult. If you didn't know. I'm happy that they can watch it after so long. Oh, listen, yeah, I saw your model. Yeah. So I know that my viewers are from different time zones, so I really try to like stream at a different hours, like along the week, you know? Yeah, I have like a different hours for each stream. So some people who can't normally catch me, they can, you know. Ah, yeah. Happy Monday. Have you seen my schedule already? I have a stacked schedule. I think the only day off I have, it will be tomorrow. Yeah, it will be tomorrow. By the way, I feel like my mic is a little bit too saturated. Give me a second. Should be better now? Yeah, I think it should be better now. It was a little bit too loud. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited. Karaoke! Yeah, we're doing karaoke next week. We haven't done a karaoke in a long time, have we? And this will be the first karaoke I will be doing, like, singing only Spanish and Russian songs. Are you excited? I am excited. Star Champs getting spoiled. Oh! Did you see the member stream we have this week? We're finally having the McDonald's date. So, we've talked about this for the first time when I was, like, still opening memberships. And somebody from the chat room reminded me about that, and I was like, okay, so like we don't have more slots for emotes. Also, we did a lot of watch-alongs lately, so we can try doing something different. So why not taking you Star Champs on a date to McDonald's, the best restaurant out there? Hello. How you doing? How you doing? This is probably the earliest time I streamed like in quite a while. So today we are continuing this visual novel, Everlasting Summer. Are you excited? Have you watched my last stream or the VOD of the first part of Everlasting Summer? One second, I think I will increase. Yes, my mic just a little bit. Yes, like this. Today's on endurance. Do you think it will be a long stream? Hello. I'm glad to hear you're excited for the streams this week. I'm very excited as well, especially for the collab I have with Connie and Poco on Sunday. Do you remember the explanation? I talked about it a little bit during my collab with Poco and my collab with Connie on members. Watch along was the actual endurance. The watch along of Made in Abyss. Oh my god, that was long. That was long. That was fucking 6 hours. And I wasn't even tired after watching it. I wasn't even tired. I really want to watch the movie of Made in Abyss now. So, do you know what we're doing this Sunday with Connie and Poco? So the stream is called "Whose Is This Meme?" So basically, yeah, I will explain. I will explain once again, like in case you don't know yet what is it about. So like we take a folder, like Poco, Connie, and me, we take a folder, and then we put like each of us puts 5 memes in that folder. Yeah, for example, 5 memes. And then we will have to guess who put that meme in the folder. I think it will be very fun. I wonder if it will be easy or very hard to guess. Because I feel like all of us have like a specific style, you know? Like there is a way to guess, but it's not always obvious. I think it will be very fun. Yeah, I think it will be very fun. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, and like if we do the idea as how I view it, then the chat will be able to vote as well for polls. A clown meme is from Connie. Is it clown? Heck no! Clown memes are prohibited or not. Because if we guess right, then like the person who gets guessed, it's like they don't get a point, you know? And we will have a loser and a winner. If you are too easy to guess, that means it's most likely you will be a loser. And if you are a loser, you will get punished. And you don't want that, right? So it's better for Connie to not make it too easy. Unless she's a masochist. She isn't, right? She wouldn't be a masochist, right? She wouldn't be a weird masochist, right? Okay. Okay. So shall we start? Everlasting Summer. I think last time we finished at day 3. Yeah, we're about to start day 3. Okay. There we go then. The disclaimer, very important. Okay. Now the sound. And there we go. Oh, what the heck? Is it moving? Yes, it's moving on your screen. It's good. Oh no. What the heck? It's not moving on your screen? Okay, no, this is weird. For some reason, it's not moving on your screen when I'm playing. Give me a second. I will fix that real quick. Hike. Streamlabs being silly, but it's fine. I will fix it. Real quick. Go joy. Okay, I think I got it. Yep. There we go. Yes, now it should be fine. OBS just being silly sometimes. Okay, you hear me well? You hear the game well? Nothing is too loud, right? Okay. Let's continue. Day 3. We're starting day 3, right? Load game. Okay, there we go. I will make the game just a little bit louder. Okay. The night left a feeling of anxiety behind. I woke up exhausted both physically and mentally. It happens to me all the time. You see incredibly lucid images in your dream, as if you fell into a Hollywood blockbuster with a plot full of twists, well-paid actors, and multi-million-dollar visual novel effects. And then you wake in the morning without remembering a thing. That's what I was trying to do, to restore the images shown by my relaxed brain. But that part of my memory was empty, either archived or formatted completely. It's 7 a.m. according to the clock. I seem to be an early bird today. Olga Dmitrievna was still sleeping, wrapping tightly in her blanket. Wrapping so tightly in a hot summer? I got up, stretched, and went to the mirror to have a look at myself. The sound is fine, right? The BGM is not too loud, right? Please let me know. I'd better shave. Strange idea. Before twice a month was enough, but now nothing depends on the way I look. I haven't found a razor anyway. It's fine? Okay, nice. Why do I even need it if I look like I'm 17 at most? So, breakfast can start earlier than 9 a.m. and this means I have plenty of time, which I can spend on walking and washing, for example. The weather didn't seem as ice cold as the previous day. On the contrary, its refreshing coolness helped me to brace up and come back to reality, whether all these events could be called real. The tooth powder, oh yeah, the powder, didn't seem to be such an outdated thing. A quick thought struck me that it's not that different from toothpaste. Have you ever tried tooth powder? I don't even know how it looks. Tooth powder. I'll have to ask my grandma about that later. Tooth powder, I've never heard about that before. When I returned to the cabin, Olga Dmitrievna was already up. She was standing in front of the mirror and fixing her hair. Good morning, Simeon. Morning. So lame, so rude. Morning. So emo. Morning. Good morning, rest and shagging, Simeon. Because of a lack of sleep, my head is still singing and my thoughts were all jumbled together. However, I didn't regret waking up instead of my usual habit of sleeping in for 2 or 3 hours more. How come you got up so early? It just happened. And now neckerchief once again. Let me. I'll do it myself, not a big deal. On my way to the canteen. I don't think so. Do it now. Did you forget about the lineup before breakfast? How could I ever forget? And what's the lineup going to be about today? We'll discuss the agenda for the day. So what's the agenda? Frankly speaking, I didn't care for what might be on the agenda for our courageous pioneer troop. I was mostly interested in where our brave leader will send our little pioneer army for the following 12-15 hours. Maybe I could manage to avoid enemy locations. Enemy locations! You'll find that out at the lineup. She gave me a wily smile. Olga Dmitrievna, you know, my stomach is getting upset. I'd rather... Oh, you know, I believe it's okay to miss the lineup once. It could get all nasty if I fail to control it right there. Where did all this courage come from? You have 5 more minutes. I'm afraid I need more time. Could you tell me right now, please? Sure, I will try, but just in case it all goes down. Oh, fine. On our list for today is cleaning the camp Oh, I can't believe she actually is telling me the stuff now. Oh, cleaning the camp locations, organizing the books in the library, some other minor tasks. And, of course, we have a ball in the evening. Watch yourself. You must take part in the camp activities today. You bet. Definitely, and now I'd rather... Come on, let's hit the road. I came out of the cabin and hid in the bushes behind it, waiting for Olga Dmitrievna to leave. Actually, I didn't have any particular reason to behave this way. It was just being childish and stupid. But the voice within me kept telling me that I have nothing to do at the lineup. After the camp leader left, I went back to the cabin and decided to wait for breakfast there. He woke up and chose lazy. And I'm not planning on taking part in community life today. So you lied! What did Olga told you? Cleaning and organizing, that's not what someone in my situation should be doing. Well, start panicking then! 2 days have passed and I'm still right where I started. All the residents seemed to be perfectly ordinary people. They weren't involved in any conspiracy, weren't communicating with aliens. Are you sure about that? And had no idea about time warps. Of course, each of them is a bit peculiar, but those peculiarities don't seem out of line at all. Moreover, if I had met any of these pioneers in my familiar world, I wouldn't suspect anything wrong. They seem to be even more normal and natural than, let's say, yours truly. This line of reasoning was quite logical. The illogical part was the absence of answers. Ordinary people in an extraordinary place. I've heard and seen that already somewhere. Dozens of pioneers, or even more, live their familiar lives and do their regular stuff day by day. They don't understand that the world around them is not what it looks like. Okay. But this is their point of view. As for me, I'm not acquainted with the world of the Saviona camp and its residents, even if they seem to behave the way normal people would under the same circumstances. I have to decide here and now, are those people involved in what's happening to me? Can they give me any answers? Or do I have to seek the truth somewhere else? It seems I overdid it a bit with the thinking. There's no usual crowd of hungry pioneers near the canteen. Or even inside the canteen. I didn't skip breakfast, right? Heck, why do I always end up starving? Most of them probably had their breakfast before 9 a.m. That's even better. Choose company, freeze a crowd. Lena was sitting in the farthest corner of the canteen, lazily picking with her fork at an amorphous lump that vaguely resembled porridge. Having a breakfast with her seems like a good idea. We can have a chat in peace. That's not what he said about Miku when he had to when he had to have lunch with Miku. So mean. Or at least try to have one. I was on the way to her table when suddenly somebody grabbed me by my sleeve. Zhenya, the librarian. Get your meal and come. We need to talk. What are you waiting for? I was a bit confused. Pardon, isn't it a bit too sudden? What's wrong? Get your meal and sit down. MC wanted to be with Lena, not with the librarian nerd. I suppose that she considers her behavior completely normal. Time to choose. What are we doing? What are we doing this time? Are we going with Lena or are we going with the nerd? Lena is the purple-haired girl, the shy one. If you don't remember. Yeah? Poll? Okay, I will make a poll. There we go. There we go. Lena. Librarian. Who we going with? I mean now. You choose. Sorry, but I promised Lena we didn't promise her anything though. You liar. You liar. By the way, baby's time. Yeah. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and and Paul. Okay, we're going with Lena this time. There we go. Sorry, but I promised Lena. That's a dirty lie. I sure that Lena wouldn't mind if I sat next to her. Hold on, wait a second. Sorry, maybe later. I gently loosened my sleeve from her grip and headed to the farthest corner of the canteen. Jenny was shouting something in my direction, but I tried to ignore her. She said, "That's so mean!" Hi, good morning. Having heard the librarian shouting, Lena had been stealing glances at me for a while. Whining. Strangely enough, she didn't blush but smiled instead. "Would you mind if I join you? I'll get my meal and be back in no time." "Yeah, sure." In a minute, I was already sitting in front of her with a simple set of plates on a tray. Porridge, 2 poached eggs, 4 pieces of wet bread, a boiled sausage, and a glass of compote made of unknown fruits and berries. "Have a nice meal." "Thanks." I was trying to eat as neatly as I could. No chomping, smeared. How I would eat normally. How I eat in front of a girl. Scrumptious. I was trying to eat as yes. No chomping, no smearing the food. It seems that eating like a human and not like a hog was not that hard after all. As usual, Lena remained silent, which means I should start the conversation. "Going to the dance tonight?" "Probably." She was silent for a while. "And you?" "I don't know yet." Though I didn't want to go there at all. I didn't like dance parties since my school days. "Why so?" "What do you mean?" My mind was still far away in my school times. "Why don't you want to go?" "I didn't say I don't want to." "Okay then." "But if you're inviting me..." Lena turned red and looked away. I'm not really inviting you, you know." "Sorry, just kidding." I felt confused. I'd better not joke like that. "Fine." Lena sighed indifferently and focused on her food, while her face turned even more red. Why am I stuck on this dance as if we have nothing else to talk about? But wait, is there actually anything? By the way, maybe you know what Jenny wanted to ask me. You know what? You should have just went with Jenny if you were so interested about that. What the fuck? Well, no, what the fuck started? Because you picked Lena. Huh? I mean, when I just came in, she wanted something from me. Well, ask Zhenya, not Lena. I don't know. Of course she doesn't know. You're so stupid. I see. The conversation reached a dead end, so I tried to seem fully focused on my meal. Lena finished her breakfast first. "I should go. See you later." "See you." I was finishing chewing on the sausage, which tasted like a twisted pear cable. I wonder if they have internet access here. I guess not. A pioneer sitting on the next table noticed me talking to myself and stared at me. I smiled and waved to him in return. After such a friendly greeting, he, for some reason, left the canteen quickly without finishing his breakfast. Done with the food, it's time to search for some clues. It's time to explore! Sometime later, I finally came to the infirmary. Oh! It's the MILF nurse time! I have nothing to do in that place. Though the nurse seemed quite caring, it's better to keep a distance from her. Such benevolence is actually scary. She might know something, but I just hadn't the courage to enter the infirmary. Moreover, I had no reason to. Not a single one. Immersed in my own thoughts, I didn't notice the nurse, who was standing on the porch. Oh, hello there.
Hi there, pioneer.
She came closer.
You must be sick. Did you come for medicine?
No, I was just wandering around.
Ah, drones, I see. But if you're here, I have a serious task for you.
I gave her a look of inquiry. The word task made me feel uneasy. It sounded like something inevitable. The nurse smiled spitefully.
You both will help me to make an inventory of the supplied medicine which arrived today.
Both? Who are we? Perhaps I misheard. But what word could be confused with both? Hi again. Oh, such a coincidence, isn't it? Lena emerged from behind the nurse's back. It seemed strange as I hadn't noticed her until now.
Come here after dinner. I have explained everything to Lena. She will tell you what to do.
Medicine, huh? Supply today? But Olga Dmitrievna told me that no bus would arrive in the next couple of days. So, there were visitors to our camp today?
Yes, they arrived from the city this morning. Why are you asking?
Just curious.
Alright then, Pioneer. So tonight, after dinner, you'll be here.
Maybe And it was barely noticeable this whole time. Surely she's able to remain invisible like a skilled ninja. I could do it on my own. Strange, she seemed more spirited during lunch.
No way. There are lots of boxes. And the Pioneer is always ready. Isn't that so, Pioneer?
That face! She gazed at me and smiled menacingly. I don't want to spend the whole evening doing something like this, and also I've got more important things to do. But rejecting these requests is really improper. If it wasn't Lena who was standing here, I would definitely think my way out. What are we doing? Okay, it's voting time. Okay, welcome. No. Okay. We coming. Not coming. Tell me, what are we doing? Are we helping Viola and Lena? Or are we leaving? Okay, we're coming. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Paul, we're coming. Okay, I'll come.
Nice. That's how a true pioneer should answer.
Even after these words, I barely came a step closer to the be prepared, always prepared motto.
Then you can go.
I looked at Lena, who was still staring at the ground. I guess all that time she spent staring at the ground was enough to learn everything there is to know about the life and habits of different insects. Plus, Lena likes to read, so she probably read many biological, botanical, and so on books. Perhaps she wants to become an entomologist. Yeah, sure you like her because she's smart, not because she's pretty. If you like nerds, you will go with the librarian. Where will you head up? Where will you head next? Lena's words drew me away from my obscure thoughts. I've been standing at the square for some time, and my speculations about bugs' lives were only an attempt to escape this awkward situation. I'm a bit loud? Okay, I will make it quieter. Should be better. Though, why did I see it as awkward? Just don't forget, alright? Don't forget what?
He already forgot, just like me for real.
Well, tonight after dinner at the infirmary. Her face got a slightly grumpy look to it. No way, that's impossible. Alright, right after dinner I'm at your service. I felt too late at my words and I blushed even harder. I need to find a way to ease the situation. Why did the nurse ask you to do it? I don't know. I was just sitting on the bench and reading a book when she came and... It's smart to ask a reliable person who would never say no. Okay. Well then, after dinner... Okay. I'll be up then. Yeah, sure. She walked off somewhere beside the clubs, and I just stood at the square for some time. So, what's next? I decided to visit my cabin in order to collect my phone. What do I even need the phone for? Like, I don't have connection anywhere. Anyway, I don't know where I'll find myself today, but having a watch is always useful. So having no wristwatch is much easier. Oh yeah, the watch is important, yeah. Suddenly I heard a different tune, which was cutting through the usual noise of the camp. I listened to it carefully. Sounds like an electric guitar. 3 repeating chords, no more. But this melody still felt somehow warm, as if a vacuum tube-based audio amplifier was used. Could there be such a luxury here? The sound was definitely coming from somewhere near the stage area. I wonder who that could be. Are we going? Just in case, I want to make a poll. Take a look. Yeah. What are we doing? Curiosity killed Buddy. Oh no, you decide that. You decide that. Will curiosity kill the stardust? Take a look, yeah? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. I should go take a look. Coming to the stage area, I caught sight of Alisa on the stage. That's what you wanted? Another pencil shot? Waste every time. I let you choose. This happens, huh? This can't be a coincidence. This can't be a coincidence. You're doing this on purpose. You're doing this on purpose. You're doing this on purpose. The girl was giving it all. With her eyes closed, she placed one of her legs upon the speaker and was swaying her body with the rhythm of the music. I couldn't recognize the melody, but I was pretty sure that I'd heard before. Probably something from Soviet rock. I could have named a dozen bands in this genre right off the bat, but I was hardly an expert. The song seemed really simple, literally just a 3-chord progression. Probably even I could have played it, given some time to practice. I wonder where Alisa got her playing skills. In the USSR, such music had never been nationally acclaimed. The future rock star wasn't taking any notice of me, she was just enjoying herself. It was like she was trying to become one with the music, to resound in every note, in every bar, in every triplet. Rock heroes of the 80s instantly came to my mind. Many of them were devoted to the music in similar way. If she got dressed in something more suitable for that period's fashion instead of her pioneer uniform, no one would notice the difference. Her performance was coming to an end. Picking out the last couple of chords, Alisa finally noticed me. Did you like it? She doesn't seem as surprised as I would have expected. Yeah, that was cool. As if you could do any better. Smiled Alisa slyly. I'm not saying that I can do it better. I'm not a pro in music. No doubt. Yup. I didn't know what to tell her next and was heading on my way. Wait a minute. What? Heard about the evening dance party? I thought it was a ball. Ball, dance party, what's the difference? She frowned. Yes, I did, and so what? Are you going to go? After throwing those words, she turned away. I'm not sure, and you? What am I going to do there? Watch a herd of Morons? There was some truth in Alice's words, but this open disrespect surprised me. I mean, would it really surprise you from her? It's clear that it's not the idea of a ball that she hates. But why? What do you mean by why? Well, why don't you want to come? I can't. Dance party is all to be fun. Thank you for the super! Do you really think so? Annoyance flashed in her voice. I don't know, but I thought that you would. Never liked them. She interrupted me. There's absolutely nothing to do at such parties. I see. So what's your plan then? I asked just to keep the conversation going. I'll just carry on practicing. Until you're practicing. The song Dumb Bass, you haven't heard it. Alisa had gone totally mad. A few more wrong questions and I will have to run for my life. Who wrote that song? I did. So you wrote it by yourself? By myself. Cool. An awkward silence hung in the air. Okay then. Don't you wanna listen? Didn't I just hear it? So mean! That's not what I meant. She pouted. The whole song is just a jam for now. Come on, do it then. Not right now. Well, don't do it then. I felt uncertain about what she wanted from me. You mean you don't want me to play? Seems like I frustrated her. I got ready for her to smash the guitar on my forehead or something even worse. But there was only an upset expression on Alisa's face. I want to, I told you. Come here tonight then. I'll play it for you. For me? How cute. Tonight's a dance party. You said that you wouldn't go. I didn't say that. Frankly speaking, I didn't want to go, but messing around with poached was no good either. Or Godmitina won't like it. Screw her! How that expression, said Alisa, getting steamed up. Ooh. Okay, this is an important decision. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Come. Not come. This is probably important. So choose wisely. Some hearts will be broken tonight, boys. Am I coming? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Paul, we're coming. Between shame at the dance party and the Chevsky mat guitar skills, I'd rather pick the latter. Goodbye. She smiled strangely. Goodbye. I was just wondering if the decision I made was a right one when suddenly I was interrupted by a ringing calling the pioneers for lunch. I looked towards the canteen. I suppose it's time to go. Hunger is a sharp thorn. I turned around with an intent to call Alisa to come along, but she looked so cheerless and down. Every musician should know when it's time to leave. I grumbled under my breath. Who is marching forwards in a row? It is our pioneer squad. Pioneers in a row usually marched to the canteen in the Saviona camp. I was looking for a place where no one would disturb me, like what happened before. Just so I can eat in peace. Do you hear the background noises? Oh my god, that's the children from the park just in front of my window. Children hate. And for that I have to at least not be the last one to come. But I was pretty sure whatever happens here happens whether I want it to or not. The canteen was crammed as full as an egg. Olga Butino was standing at the entrance, guarding it like a hawk. Well, Simeon, were you working hard today? Hard enough. Well done, truly well done. And the hardest is yet to come. I just bet. Fine, take a seat next to the girls. She pointed at the table next to the pillar. Slavia, Oriana, and Lena were already sitting there. Not bad company. At least not the worst. Because Miku is not there. I got my meal and went up to them. Do you mind if I sit here? I caught myself sounding a bit clueless. There were no other free places anyway. No, of course not. Please do. Lena remained silent. Today the meal consisted of a plate of borscht. I suspected there was some meat lurking in it, but I had no evidence. Some poultry, chances are chickenus domesticus, with fried potatoes and a traditional glass of compote. I found myself liking the local food more and more. I guess I just came to the conclusion that I have no other choice, which means that there's no use in complaining. I mean, that doesn't sound bad, that actually sounds like nice food. Thank God there is something to eat. Oh my god, this is so dramatic. Coming to the ball tonight? I don't know. I already had my arrangements with Alisa. He'll come. He got nowhere to go. Oriana said happily. You will come for sure. Of course! I can't miss the opportunity to watch you make a fool of yourself. She got it right, so I decided not to reply. And what about you? I asked Lena. Yes. She replied briefly. See, you should go too then. Said Slavia as if leaving me no choice. Don't forget to wear your tailcoat. Apparently, Liana was so pleased with her joke that she laughed out loud. But I really had nothing to wear. My wardrobe was just a pioneer uniform and my winter clothes, which would be inappropriate even in the evening. And what will you be dressed in, entertainer? Secret! Will it be a little dress just like in kindergartner's matinee? Liana turned red. Looks like I managed to offend her. No, I will wear a biohazard suit just so I don't catch an infection from you. I wonder what kind of infection are you afraid of catching from me? Enough, you guys. Don't quarrel. How do I read that? Fuck. How do I read it? Idiocy, of course. I don't relate, so I can't read it. Stupidness. Looks like Oriana was highly pleased with her, as she thought. Brilliant answer again. You know, if you already have the flu, you can't catch a cold. Take a play at that game. So childish! What are you implying? Oh, nothing at all. I looked away slyly. Do you mean that? She went red again. I don't mean anything. Guys, given that it was Lena who interfered, it probably really was time to stop. You're asking for it. You're gonna get it. Ah, you finally wise up? What the fuck? Instead of replying, Oriana grabbed her plate filled with borscht and tipped it over my head? This game made an unexpected finale. Oh, you little... The brat. She jumped up and tried to run away. But this time she won't get away. I grabbed her hand. And now what? I can't just smash her head against the table. This pantomime lasted a few seconds. Suddenly, Oriana skillfully grabbed a glass full of compote and splashed it on my face. That way, she managed to get free of my grip. She dashed off towards the counter, and I chased her. This resulted in several flipped tables, a pile of smashed tableware, 5 pioneers crippled by various injuries and full exhaustion from both parties. A draw, sort of. A belligerent draw. With too much belligerence. We stood before each other and breathed heavily. Tell me you won't behave this way again. And you? I got Mitina snuck up on us from behind. Uh-oh. When you think about it, such a rat couldn't go unnoticed. Well, are you satisfied with yourselves now? Her voice appeared to be calm, but I was sure she was just about to explode. And who's gonna clean up all this mess? Exactly what happened. Who? I'm asking you, who? Him! Replied Oriana with complete confidence. Hair? I objected less confidently. Both. The camp leader brought a conclusive end to this ongoing argument. Generally, I wasn't sure that my share of the blame is more than hers. Although Oriana didn't have a drop of guilt on her face. Beat it! I'm not cleaning. Ain't nobody got time for that. This is his fault. He started it first. No, it isn't. Oh, yes, it is. I'm not going to sort out all that nonsense. Simeon, go grab him up. A bucket, some clothes, you know, well, that kind of stuff in the closet. And as for you... She looked at Juliana with such a burning gaze that I felt a bit sorry for the girl. You! Start to pick up the broken tableware immediately. Olga Dmitrievna took a deep breath and continued. You're nothing but trouble. How many times have I told you? I decided to skip the lecture and went to the closet that appeared to be near the exit. Suddenly, a perfect idea flashed in my head. Why don't I just run away? Sure, Olga Dmitrievna has caught us already, but I'm not the one to blame. Of course, I'm not the true pioneer she keeps talking about, but in comparison to Uliana. Anyway, she's the principal culprit. It's not like I have nothing better to do than cleaning up this mess here. I have to seek answers. The truth is out there, somehow flashed through my mind. Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing this time? Run away. Help with the brat. What are we doing? Are we helping the brat? Red crisps are nice. Help the brat, yeah? The real nature of Stardust will be revealed. What does that mean? Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Paul, we're helping the brat. Nah, running away is hardly a good idea. For starters, all good Mityovna has caught me already, and dashing off would only aggravate my punishment. As well as that, I was indeed partially guilty. Of course it was all her fault. But if I hadn't reacted like that, probably we could have avoided this trashing. Probably. I opened the cabinet and took out a broom, a mop, and a dustpan. Olga Dmitrievna wasn't anywhere near Ulyana by the time I returned. She's gone? Can't you see for yourself? Ulyana looked upset. All her youthful spirit vanished without a trace. Okay, hang on a sec. I'll go and wash myself a bit first. I shot her an angry glance and headed towards the exit. I washed the scraps of lunch off myself and returned to the canteen. Well, no escaping it. I have to clean it up. It's all because of you. Just a single gaze from her gave me the creeps. Of course it is. It's me who's guilty of everything. It's me who's a local natural hazard. Oh, shut up. Still, it's kind of strange that she's not trying to avoid this cleanup duty. Ulyana had a solid opportunity to just run away and leave me alone, but somehow she did the exact opposite, diligently gathering broken plate fragments, mopping the floor, picking up the chairs and tables. In fact, she was so fast that I had a tough time keeping up with her. Well now, aren't you suddenly acting all goody-goody? It's not like I want to spend the whole day here, you dork. She still sounded irritated. Listen, you've got to understand that you can't behave like that. At least not to such an extent. For some reason, I decided to try and give her a moral lecture. I haven't done a thing. It was you who was calling me names. Ulyana grabbed a bucket and a mop and went to the farthest corner of the canteen. Looks like she's still angry. Looking back at the mountain of broken tableware, I finally began to understand the scope of the catastrophe. Well, lucky that at least the forks and spoons are made of metal. We still have something to eat with. But there are hardly any plates left. Hey! Ulyana called me with a shout. I went over to her. I don't get it. Why do you hate me so much? Her face became so serious that I was ready to believe that it wasn't just yet another trick of hers. Why do you think so? I have no idea. That's exactly why I'm asking you. I don't hate you. It's just that sometimes you behave like... well, you know. As simple as that, but still true. Like what? I have no idea. She lifted her gaze to me, boiling with curiosity. Well, for starters, what's the big idea in pouring the compote all over me? You were asking for it. She smiled for the first time since she started cleaning. Yeah, sure. I heaved a deep sigh. So, what do you expect from others then? Nothing. She replied acidly. This discussion was over, so I just continued cleaning up in silence. It took us a few hours to fix up the canteen. At least all the broken tableware was gone. Chairs and tables were in their designated places. The floor looked clean. We were sitting together with Ulyana next to the food counter, breathing heavily, deservedly resting. Now you see how much effort has to be put in because of a silly trick? But I'm not tired at all. Well, the sweat pouring down her face told the opposite story. Oh well, good for you. So, what are we gonna do next? I don't know about you, but I'd rather go. No, that's not all. You have to... She hesitated. To help me with another little thing. Thinking of another silly prank? You bet. She was smiling broadly. I'm not your man here. I'm more than fed up with just one punishment for today. Okay, here's the deal. If you help me now, there won't be any more pranks. Sure, that was an inviting prospect, but somehow I couldn't bring myself to trust Oliana even for a moment. Well, it wouldn't hurt to ask. So what's your cunning plan? We are gonna steal the candy. What? I should have expected something like that from this brat! Candy's for kids. Soon the chef will go out to dump the trash. Nobody's gonna see us. Count me out. Whatever. She grounded and turned away. Then I'll do it myself. And I won't allow... I couldn't even finish the sentence as Juliana already jumped over the counter, ran to the cabinet, opened the door, and started rummaging through it. Hey, cut that! It's not like you haven't got enough problems with Olga Dmitrievna. She didn't reply. You won't get away with just cleaning duty for something like that. Juliana closed the cabinet. She held a huge bag of candy in her hands. Oh, you little, put it back! She stuck out her tongue at me and dashed off through the back door. I couldn't just leave it at that. I darted off in pursuit. Sure, the girl had quite a head start, but I still funneled all my energy into the chase. I won't lose her again. We ran through the square, turned at the music club building, and came out onto the forest trail. That's a lot of exercise! I'd almost caught Oliana when she stopped abruptly. I couldn't pull up as sharply as I crashed into her, sending us sprawling. We rolled down onto the grass. Gotcha! I gave a victorious shout. Oh, you didn't! She replied with an ashamed tone. Juliana was lying under me. Her face was right next to mine. I felt her erratic breathing and the heat of her body. Sure, right now she's only a child, but soon enough she'll become a woman. It was pretty embarrassing. What the fuck? Hey yo! Hey yo! Hey yo! Hey yo! She said, coming back from her senses. Wait, yo! Hey yo! Hey yo! Anyway, it was more like a game to her. What am I reading here? Can I even stream this? She gave a cunning smile and snorted quietly. Or was it just my imagination? I'm not really in the mood. What the heck am I reading? What the heck am I reading? What the heck am I reading? Whatever. Oriana reached up and bit me on the nose. I wasn't expecting that. I even pulled back a little. Just a moment of hesitation was enough for her to wrestle out and run 12 feet away. Watch it! You're gonna regret this later. She laughed out loud and disappeared into the woods. The candy bag was left lying on the ground near me. I wonder if she dropped it on purpose. It's getting near the dinner time, so I had to hurry up and return the candy. Oh my god, they've been running for such a long time then. And preferably, very preferably, stay under the radar. Of course, I explained the situation. It was Liana who had stolen them. But who's gonna believe me? I mean, why would you return it if it was you, you know? My good meeting was already waiting for me at the entrance to the canteen. Good job, Simeon! On what? I hid the bag of sweets behind my back. The bag was transparent and too big to put it in my pocket. I was talking about the cleanup. Everything is clean and tidy. Well, yeah. And where's Soliana? I wish I knew. She'll come soon. Okay then, go and have your dinner. I entered the canteen. To my utter lack of surprise, it was full. Now I really don't know how to return the bag without being noticed. Sure, I could do it in the evening, but what do I do with it now? Simeon! I turned around. Slavia was in front of me. Wow, what's that? She looked at the bag that I didn't manage to hide in time. Caught red-handed, or more like sweet-handed, time to prepare for a scolding. These are sweets. Where from? I stole them, damn it. I got them from Uliana. Oh, I see. Same old song and dance? What do you mean? It's not the first time she's stolen sweets. And why am I not surprised? Let me handle this. Thanks. Slavia saves the day yet again. She took the bag and headed to the buffet. I had no desire to listen what she was going to say while returning the sweets, so I started to look around the canteen looking for a place to sit. It seems that I will have to share a dinner table with Electronic and Shurik. Ah, my dear friends, my dear broskis! There were no more places to sit. What's happening, gentlemen? Every time I had to deal with them, I got an itching desire to tease them, or at least to drop some cheeky or cocky banter. The nerds! What's up, fellow nerds? Might be too risky to behave that way, but the Electronic Brothers were my primary source of positive emotions. How are you doing? Fine, what about you? It's a missus. Did something happen? Lots of stuff. Mind sharing? Nah, some other time maybe.
Suit yourself.
He had a, if you don't remember, Shurik had a stupid, goofy voice. He made a helpless gesture. We're going to the ball after dinner. Electronic giggled.
I know that.
Who do you want to ask out? I haven't thought about it yet. What about you? It seemed that this question caught him off guard. Ask Uliana. That would make her happy. No thanks. Electronic furiously waved his hands. And you, Shurik, you got to ask Alisa out.
Thanks, I'll pass.
Pass! He looked calmer than his mate. Oh, come on, guys, it's be fun. You know what? You can just go by yourself, you know, like true broskis. And in any case, we've got things to do. We still have to finish the rabbit. Oh, that's a marvelous idea. Ask your robot out. Can it dance?
It can't even walk yet.
Shurik probably missed the point completely. It would be a great demonstration of our achievements in front of the camp.
And what would we show to them?
Yeah, you're right. They both stared at their plates disappointedly. Dinner was over and the pioneers started to disperse. That's all you wear for the ball? I asked Shuriken Electronic. I don't have anything special to wear. We'll go as we are. He indicated his pioneer uniform. They don't seem to care about their appearance at all. Well, why should I care then? Wearing my winter clothes isn't an option, so I'll just go like this. When does it start? After 9 o'clock. Got it. I left the canteen and deeply inhaled the fresh evening air. I remembered those rare dances I used to go to at school. Hesitation, insecurity, even fear. I couldn't dance. I didn't know how to react if someone had invited me. I wouldn't dare to invite someone myself. Ah, the social anxiety. All in all, I felt pretty uncomfortable about it. But now I have my broskies. And it was even more unpleasant to watch others having fun. It wasn't envy. More like it was a disconcerting feeling that people were able to enjoy something so odd for me. I thought that there was still lots of time till the ball, so I could sleep a little to be fresh in the evening. Entering the camp leader's cabin, I flopped onto the bed instantly and shut my eyes. Ip time! What if he just oversleeps the ball? That would be funny. Where did this come from? I don't remember this in here in this room. Strangely enough, I got up right on time even without an alarm. The clock was showing 9. Such a rare thing to happen. I felt sluggish though. Probably it wasn't the best idea to sleep during the day after all. It was always there, Rito. Really? I just noticed it. I'm going to see Alisa instead of the dance. So it's time then. But I agreed to help Lena. And what should I do now? Yes, right. We agreed to too many things. We agreed to too many things. What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay. It's time for you to decide once again. Go to Alisa. Go to the party. What are we doing? Vote. Dance party, Lena? Yeah, most likely. It sounds like it. What are we doing, guys? Crunchy. I'm taking this as a little pause to snack. The votes are quite equal. Okay. Oh, they are equal. 50-50. What are we doing? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a draw. Guys, you can do this to me. 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. And Paul. We're going to Alisa. We are going to Alisa. A few minutes later, I approached the stage. Maybe it was a bad idea accepting her offer. Just talking to Dwachevska means danger. On the other hand, I wasn't eager to go to the dance. What can I do there? I'd only disgrace myself. No, I'm better off listening to Alisa play the guitar. Coming closer, I saw a person sitting on the edge of the stage with her legs dangling. So you came after all. Alisa put the guitar aside and jumped to the ground. There was even a trace of joy on her face for a moment. Playing for someone is surely more interesting than being alone. As you can see, What are we going to do? What do you mean what? I'm asking you. Oh, you wanted. I got a sudden idea that this situation is one of her usual pranks and I should never have expected to hear any guitar songs. I'm going to bed. Bye. I turned around and waved a hand intentionally slowly. Hey! Alyssa grabbed my sleeve. What? Don't you want to listen? Listen to what? You yourself don't know what you're going to do. Of course I know! She took the guitar and hit the strings with a plectrum of a couple of times. Sit next to me. I didn't object, and in a moment I was sitting beside her. It's better this way. Miss the dance, leave now, and then what would I do? The role of a stranger was more suitable for a passive observer and not for the eager seeker of answers, who I wanted to be so badly. So I'll show you how to play the song now. Just like that, right away? What do you mean right away? I haven't held a guitar for a long time. She could probably guess how long it had been since I'd held one. My skills were enough to make a cat laugh. It's not difficult. I threw an intense look at Alyssa. It distinctly seems to me now that she just can't express her feelings. She could lose her strange self-control for a moment and I'd get to see a casual and even funny a friendly girl. And then when her self-confidence and impudence turned back on, it was bitchness as usual. And which is the real one? Hey! What? Stop daydreaming. Oh yeah, sorry. So, are you watching? I am. What song is it? The one I planned this morning, of course. Oh, okay, I'm listening. Alyssa made up her mind and started to play. That's it. Did you get everything? I may have understood it, but I probably won't be able to replicate it. How shall I put it? It's okay, practice makes perfect. She's undoubtedly right on this point, but I've had problems with practice all my life. Well, I took the guitar from Alyssa and tried to play the first chord. It was hard, as if my fingers were tied in a knot and didn't want to be in the right place. I used to be better before, but now I wouldn't even be able to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, da 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 da. Well, wait a moment. Looks like you won't be a rock hero. She laughed kindly. It might be better this way. I hissed, vainly trying to remember the order of strings to press. Well, the guitar started to make devilish sounds resembling the groans of a wounded dinosaur. What was this comparison? My left hand fingers constantly missed the right frets, and my right hand didn't strike in rhythm. Let's call that progressive rock. Progressive? Well, give it back. She took the guitar away, and it sounded completely different in her hands. I felt embarrassed by my clumsiness for a moment. Alyssa's skill might not be on the level of a professional guitarist, but nevertheless, she played simple things like this with confidence. She must have had a lot of practice. Did you get it this time? She finished and offered the guitar to me. Well, I did better the second time, but it was still a long way from Alyssa's level. Or from any decently adequate level. I was aware of how totally worthless I was compared to her. It seems so simple. Just play a simple song with 3 chords. The tune is too simple though. I put the guitar aside. Alyssa was lost in thought for a moment. Even a preschool kid could play it better. Thanks.
I tried.
So I noticed. She might be trying to demonstrate her evident superiority at playing the guitar. It's not like everyone can be a musician. Not really. Alyssa looked up at the sky. Though you can't be one, that's for sure. Why's that? You should have heard yourself. I started to regret coming here. Well, don't mind me. Why does Alyssa need to do this? It's obvious that I'm a horrible guitarist. Obviously. But if I had some practice... So, will you practice? I don't know. Maybe I will. The guitar was the least of my problems, though. I'm stuck in a strange world I can't escape from. That's more important than a stupid argument with Alyssa. I suddenly felt an annoying self-pity, apathy, and an urge to leave this place, to forget this evening. Oh my god, is he that embarrassed? It's fine, senor. Those feelings left a nasty impression and a burning desire to do or say something stupid. As if it would change anything. Come on. What? Me learning to play the guitar. You surely couldn't. You'd strum the guitar for a couple of days and give it up. Alyssa's words pierced my heart. Because she was right. You know what? Oh well, should she know? Is it any concern of hers? Am I reacting this way just because it's true? Or that it's Alyssa who spoke that truth? You can't know how to do everything. Probably not. But you should be able to at least do something. So are you saying that I can't do anything? How should I know? Yeah, because if you weren't even trying. You know, I what? Should I tell her about my computer skills?
What's a computer?
About the books I've read and movies I watched. Oh well, this is a pointless conversation. That goes without saying. You're only concerned with having fun. And you do nothing but whine. Forget it.
She is fucking right.
I jumped down from the stage and walked away from a concert area. Go then. I heard Alyssa yelling to me. I'm already going, I hissed. Oh my god, he's such a child! And to think he's like the most adult of them all. He's like even older than Olga? The path led me back to the square. There was Slavia in the center of it, sweeping the area. Oh, Simeon, hi! I thought everyone was already asleep. No, what are you doing? Cleaning up after the ball. Why didn't you come? And where have you been? I hadn't the slightest intention of telling Slavia how I embarrassed myself on a stage with a guitar in front of Alyssa while the whole camp was having fun at the square. I took a walk. Okay, but you should have gone. It was fun. Glad you enjoyed yourself. I've been sweating like a pig today because of work or just the hot night. Hey, do you know where I can have a bath? Certainly, go straight, then a bit to the left by the path, then to the right, and there will be a bathhouse. Should I accompany you? No, no need. I'll find it myself. I totally didn't want to burden her more. I walked along the forest path in the direction Slavia showed. My whole body was itching. Oh my god. He should be very dirty right now. Imagine the absolute stench. How didn't I notice it before? I'm stinky. Didn't I notice it before? More importantly, what else hadn't I noticed? If things keep going like this, then I'll have to stay in this world forever. I shivered at the thought. Probably at the idea that I didn't feel any terror, or even just fear. Just like it's how the nature of law or of things. I could see a bathhouse behind the trees. And why do the pioneers have baths here? Olga Dmitrievna had said something about repairs to the showers though. No reason to worry about it now. There were soap and clean towels, so I quickly washed myself, went outside and breathed in a chest full of fresh night air. It's so wonderful that physical cleanliness brings spiritual cleanliness. All of my problems, if not went away, then at least became less important. It's like the water washed away not only the dirt from my body, but also the anxiety from my mind. So, he didn't take a shower in how many days again? I suddenly started yawning as I headed to the leader's cabin, rubbing my eyes. I didn't take even a few steps before Alisa jumped out from the bushes. You, what are you doing here? I was just watching myself. She came to her senses and spoke again. And? And what? How should I know? Then why do you speak if you don't know? All my peace of mind vanished in a moment, only the irritation and the weariness remained. Okay, well, if you don't mind. Wait. Now what? If back there on stage you thought that, well, I didn't want to offend you or anything. Oh, that's sweet. It's okay, I'm not offended. I just can't play the guitar. Nothing special. A lot of people can't. I felt that there were obvious signs of irritation in my voice, but I couldn't do anything about it. I wanted to say everything to her face right here, right now. Exactly, you can't! Alisa obviously restrained herself from laughing. I've already had enough of you. She totally drove me out of my wits at that moment. In another second, I would have started to yell at her. Or worse. Or worse? What does that mean? What the heck? So violent. Wait! Wouldn't you just leave me alone? Alisa followed me but didn't try to stop me. I really didn't want to offend. Some invisible power made me to turn around. Okay, can I go now? Yes, of course. In the moonlight, Alisa looked very beautiful with a brief guilty expression in her face. If she could only keep her mouth shut. So mean. What are you smirking at? Although, nothing. I just thought that if only you were a little bit more polite. Then what? I shouldn't say such things. People could get ideas depending on their intellectual abilities. Then nothing. You should finish what you started. There's nothing to finish. I'm very tired and I'm going to sleep. Stop right there! Don't make me run away from you. As if you could! She might be right. I am already exhausted from this day, and naturally I had no intention of running after a bath. So what? Wait. If only I would be more polite, then what? Try it and you will see. Why should I do anything for a fool like you? Then don't try. What does it have to do with me? I sighed and dragged myself to the square. And what about you then? What? I replied without turning to her. Well, if I would, then you... I don't know what are you talking about, but let's think that I would if it is easier for you. Morin? So mean! He's so fucking mean! He's so freaking mean! Alisa yelled at me and headed to the bathhouse. The square shines with the cleanness of a German road, which were washed with shampoo, or so people said. That's love for you. And I just argued with Alisa and nothing else. What for? As if it was really necessary. And her behavior. In any other situation, I would have surely said that Alisa likes me and just hides it behind her rudeness. That's not important right now, though. Relationships, love, anything. Maybe she isn't even human. And what if she was a human and all this was happening in the real world? I drove these thoughts away and headed to the leader's cabin. Tiredness had overwhelmed me. He totally messed it up, I know, right? It was like an invisible obstacle stopped me in front of the door. Orgod Mituna certainly would like to know where I was and why I missed the dance. I'll get a full interrogation for sure. Counting the absence of Alisa at the dance too, it wouldn't be hard to guess that we skipped it together. On the other hand, should I even tell her that instead of going to the dance, Alisa practiced playing the guitar and I just went along with the flow? Nothing special, actually. Doesn't really matter why I left. So, at the same time, I thought that it could be better to keep silent. Well, I'll decide on the spot. I sighed and pulled the door handle. Ooh, you look fine, Olga Dmitrievna. How did he call her last time? Toots? Cringe memories. Olga Dmitrievna was already waiting for me, wearing a dress. So Simeon, where have you been? I talked to her that you've been with Alisa. Makeup. Okay, what are we doing? Truth or excuse? Oh, like I reloaded the page accidentally. Let me. Truth or excuse? Tell me. No reason to lie? Well, you tell me. Do we have any reason to lie? Truth, yeah? What are you eating? It's bread crisp sour cream with herbs flavor. That's what's written in the package. It's flavored bread crisps. They're nice. Okay, we're telling the truth? Okay, we're telling the truth. There we go. Yes. To tell the truth, I was on the stage with Alisa. And what did you do there? Play the guitar. Okay, that's not important. Why didn't you come to the ball? Well, frankly speaking, I don't like dancing. So what? That was a camp public event, which means every pioneer had to attend. She looked at me intently. You could just sit somewhere quietly. I'm sorry. I sighed. Okay. A little softened. Go to bed quickly. The storm had passed. I tossed and turned but couldn't sleep. My head was full of thoughts about music, guitars, and Alisa. I wondered, could I become a professional musician? And do I even want to be one? Why should I want to? It certainly would be pretty fun, but nothing else. Or is Alisa the reason? She really is like an energy vampire, sucking all your juices. My eyes started to close and I fell asleep a moment later after. Day 4. I woke up with a hellish ringing inside my head. The ringing seemed to be coming from the depths of my consciousness. Oh, it's an alarm. But after I came to my senses, I realized that the cause of this ringing is my alarm clock. Strange. Where did it come from? Why is it standing near my bed? It was 7:30, according to the clock. Olga Dmitrievna had already left, and there is nobody to force me to go to the lineup. Thus I can sleep a bit more. I closed my eyes, but seemed like my consciousness had already had its coffee and was ready for a long, productive day. I need to get up. I should plan my day out. After all, I need to at least find out something today. But still, nothing came to my head. Fine, I need to wake up completely and wash myself. Yes, you need to wash yourself. On my way to wash dance, I met Zhenya. What got you up so early? Anything wrong with being up early? She looked at me as if I had insulted her. Oh, nothing, just curious. None of your business. Gosh, Zhenya isn't very sympathetic even when she's in a good mood, but today she just looked furious. The cold water perked me up, the fog in my head dissipated, and my thoughts started arranging themselves. Curiously, I started to worry about finding a good place in the canteen more than about finding answers. I brushed my teeth and was going to leave when a quiet sound wafted past my ears. It's probably a squirrel or some other animal. I heard another sound, this time a bit farther. I walked 10 meters along the path, searching for the source. Nobody, just the morning forest. Oh! Our wife! She's here! I returned to the wash stands and saw Miku, who was looking for something in the grass. Noticing me, she smiled and jumped up to me. Oh, hello! Good morning! I accidentally scotched my tooth powder, just trying to gather it all back up. The delicate grass didn't seem to be helping matters. Are you sure that's a good idea? Well, why? What else can I do? I don't have any more. It was the last I had. She pouted like a child who had just had her favorite toy taken from her. Here, I'll give you mine. I dug into my bag. No tooth powder there. Strange. Didn't I just put it there? I walked away for just a minute, and now it's gone. Listen, it looks like I have forgotten it. I didn't want to tell her that it had just gone missing. Knowing the sensitivity of this girl, it was safe to assume that vanishing household goods would impress her so much that her brain would resolve itself in order to avoid What the fuck? What the fuck? That's so fucking mean! Mr. Mean in the chat, what the fuck? That's so fucking mean. I'll be off. Yeah, cheers. Visit us. Visit me in the music club. I'm still alone there. But Miku's voice faded in the freshness of the summer morning far behind me. So fucking mean! Poor Miku, she doesn't deserve this. Poor Miku doesn't deserve this. Getting back to the leader's cabin, I took my cell phone and looked at the battery meter. Enough power for a day, maybe even less. Of course it won't help me much in here, but still. Finding a charger in the 80s would mean inventing it. Still, regardless, the morning was shining and beautiful. Rising and shining. The bright sun was shining over the space and time-displaced Pioneer Camp Savionek, warming its residents and filling them with energy to spend the day productively. Or, in my case, to waste it in futile efforts to find an explanation for everything happening here. There was an unusually large crowd near the canteen. Of course, there was no other place in the camp that pioneers loved as much as the canteen. But why were they all crowding on the porch? I came closer to find out what's going on. It looked like all the camp had gathered at the porch. There were all the familiar girls, Olga Dmitrievna and Electronic. They were having a lively discussion. I drew closer. Ah, Simeon. Have you seen Shurik today? Nope, what's the matter? We haven't been able to find him since early morning. Disappearing pioneers, well, that's something new. But he was with you yesterday? She was talking to Electronic. Yes, he was. So you woke up this morning and he wasn't anywhere to be found? No. Why didn't you come to me immediately? Well, I thought that he got up earlier and went to wash up or something. Did he mention anything yesterday? Interjected Slavia. For example, that he was going somewhere, for instance. Nope. Not exactly so horrifying about that. It's only 9 AM. He might have decided to go for a walk. You don't know, Shurik. She looked over at me seriously. Well, no, I don't. But I didn't see anything suspicious in this situation. Okay, let's stop panicking. We'll find him. How could he miss breakfast? Uliana grinned. Exactly. Time to eat anyway. The pioneers proceeded into the canteen. Yet again, I had no choice where to fit in. The only free place was at the table with Alisa and Uliana. Take a seat! She pointed at the chair next to her. I sat down. Aren't you gonna get your food? Good idea. I hadn't thought about that. Today's breakfast didn't look much different from yesterday's, but it looked more appetizing. Or maybe I was just very hungry. Or maybe I was eager to finish it off as soon as possible to avoid yet another Uliana prank. Wanna go to the beach with us today? When? Right after breakfast. Generally speaking, relaxation wasn't on my agenda today, but if I was going to spend my time thinking, why shouldn't I do it while getting a suntan? Solarium time. Sure, why not? Ah, cool. She smiled nicely. I bet you're planning another prank. No, not at all. Uliana waved her hands at me. She sure is. Alisa grinned. She's always like that. I looked at Alisa attentively and suddenly remembered yesterday's evening. It's her strange behavior or quarrel. But now she looked like usual. Maybe there is no need to say anything to her. Though I wasn't going to. At the end of the day, everything that happened that night stopped seeming unusual, as if it was all just a dream. No way! I think she's right. Nobody believes me. Uliana took her tray of dirty dishes and stood up. Enjoy your meal. Wait. She said in such a way which left no doubt. Nothing good awaits me today at the beach. Me and Alisa were left alone. You know, I guess I shouldn't go with you after all. Why is that? Well, I've got something to do, liar. And what exactly would that be? She looked in my eyes, and I couldn't even find an appropriate excuse. I don't even have a swimsuit. Try mine. You think it will fit me? Give it a try. I don't think it's worth the effort. Don't be a wimp. We'll find you some swimming trunks. Those words only added to my fear. Wait for me by the canteen. I'll be back soon. Okay. There's nothing wrong with waiting for her, is there? Finishing my breakfast, I left the building and sat on the stairs. Pioneers, all having their own business, hurried past me one by one. No one stopped by me. No one even looked in my direction. It seemed like they didn't consider me a stranger, but exactly the opposite, just another teenager their age. Their comrade, you could say. I caught myself thinking that I had started to consider this camp and its inhabitants with not as much caution as I had on the first day. Indeed, Alisa was back in a couple of minutes. Ready? Ready for what? She gave me the trunks. Though you hardly could call them trunks. They looked like pink boxers decorated with butterflies and flowers. Actually, they were boxers. I'm always afraid to ask, but where did you get these? Too scared to put them on? Well, you know, I have not the slightest intention of doing so. I appreciated her joke, but wasn't going to make myself a laughing stock. Put them on, she said roughly. Why don't you try them on instead of me? I think that the color of this swimsuit would set off your eyes very nicely. Let's make a bet. I had no desire to accept her bets. No thanks. Alright, you either go to the beach wearing them or you swim naked. Weighing in the pros and cons, even the second option seems better than the first. I'm not planning to go anywhere at all. Then I'll tell everyone that you left these trunks in my cabin. How would I do that? How should I know? She burst into laughter. I didn't want to argue with Alisa, so I decided to go to the beach in the end. It's so easy to convince. But not in those flamboyant trunks. Okay, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Don't be late. She ran off after saying that. I dragged my feet to the leader's cabin to get a towel and to hopefully find something like trunks. Olga Dmitrievna was waiting for me in the room. Simeon, did you hear anything about Shurik? Same as half an hour ago. I walked to my bed and took a towel. Are you going somewhere? Yes, to the beach. Wait, do you have swimming trunks? You came here without any luggage, as I recall. Strangely, the fact didn't seem to surprise her during our first encounter. No. So what will you wear? Good question. What? I don't know. Wait a minute. She walked to the wardrobe and unlocked a drawer. In a moment, she had a pair of normal black trunks. Lucky! Where did she get those? More importantly, why? Someone from the previous session might have forgotten them. Considering all the strange things in this camp, it wasn't really surprising to find men's swimming trunks in Olga Dmitrievna's room. Thanks. The trunks were just my size. How convenient. I got changed behind the cabin and went to the beach. They will be so disappointed. A lot of pioneers had already gathered there, but I recognized only Alisa and Oliana. Come here! I walked over to them and sat on the sand. I see you found something better. She stared at my trunks and smirked. As you can see. Come on, let's swim! I don't want to. Maybe later. I was not a fan of swimming. Why did you go to the beach then? Suit yourself. The girls ran into the water. Why did I come here? Why am I not out looking for answers? Should I care about it now? Saviana seemed normal. Certainly, a lot of strange things have happened to me during these 3.5 days, but not one of them, taken separately, seemed at all supernatural. Especially since I didn't get any closer to finding so much as a clue. On the contrary, everything that has happened has only confused me more. What alternatives do I have? I won't get any truth from the local residents, though I doubt they even know it. Should I try to leave this place? But how far can I walk considering that I don't even know where I am? It turns out that my only option is to wait. After some time, the girls came back. Oliana held something in her hands. Look! I looked up and saw a crayfish. Just a normal crayfish. Nice views, huh? Oriana lay next to me and started to torment it. Leave the poor animal alone. Why? It's just a crayfish. So what? It has a right to live too. I'll rip its claws off and ask the cook to boil it for dinner. As if we have nothing else to eat. I looked at Alisa. She seemed to be totally uninterested in Uliana's fun with the poor sea creature. Tell her. What's wrong? It's a crayfish. She deserves it for being ugly. Look at it. It looks so silly. Definitely deserves it. Looks almost so silly as Mr. Min. And you know what? Mr. Min would deserve to be boiled alive. It looked like the girls missed their lessons on nature in primary school and lacked empathy for the environment. Give it! I snatched the crayfish off Uliana. Suit yourself. I was a little surprised she didn't resist. I looked into the eyes of the poor animal. They didn't express anything at all, but I thought that if it could speak, it would certainly be outraged. Maybe it would even go to the UN Convention of Human Rights. To tell the truth, I wasn't sure that would help. I took the crayfish to the river and set a tree. Never mind, I'll catch more. There are plenty of them here, said Uliana. No doubt about it, I mumbled. Time to torture more sea creatures. Time passed and I was getting sleepy. I fell asleep. I don't remember what I was dreaming about, if I was dreaming at all, but I woke up when someone shook my shoulder. Ooh! 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 That's a nice swimsuit! That's a nice two-piece swimsuit. That's a nice bikini. I got Mitrina stood next to me. Did you come to swim too? I asked, still half asleep. No. It's almost time for lunch and we still couldn't find Shurik. The little sad standing before me in a wet swimsuit. And I want you to look for him. It seems like I'm the only pioneer in this entire camp. I was sincerely outraged. Every time it was getting clear that Oygod Mitimna considered me her errand boy, to be used like a slave, or vice versa. If I came to you, then I want you to help me. Not exactly me. However, after giving it some thought, I decided to agree. After all, my shoulders and back got sunburned while I was sleeping, and searching for Shurik would let me get acquainted with unexplored locations of the camp. Okay. It was not exactly right to wander around wearing only swimsuit trunks, so I should get changed first. 10 minutes later, I stood outside Olga Dmitryevna's cabin, deciding where to go. Ooh! Bus stop, boat house. Oh? Or the 17 room? Who's there? Oh, Zenya? Who's there? Okay, where are we going? I'll make a poll. I'll let you decide once again. Bus stop, boat house, 17 question mark? I don't know if we can visit all the places. So just in case, I'm making a poll. Okay. There we go. Forest is also visible. Oh, that's true. That's true. Forest is also... Okay, never mind. Okay, thank you for telling me. I forgot about the forest. I think I never visited it here. Because I never saw it here before. Bus stop. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm remaking the poll. Give me a second. Boat house. Forest. Or room 17. Okay. Now yes. Now yes. Vote. Boat house like an ace attorney? Interesting coincidence. And right when a pioneer disappears, maybe he was murdered. Maybe we're about to perceive a crime. We go into the forest? Shurik, are you okay? Shurik, are you okay? Are you okay, Shurik? Shurik, are you okay? Shurik, are you okay? Are you okay, Shurik? Okay, we're going to the forest then. Let's go. It is obvious that Olga Dmitrievna and her pioneers have already searched every nook and cranny of the camp, round the length and breadth of it. So probably it's not worth looking for Shurik in the canteen or on the beach. Or in the cybernetics club. It was his second home. Or maybe even her first. Thus, it might be worth looking around the surrounding forest. I didn't plan to go far into the forest, otherwise it might be me who they'll be searching for tomorrow. I didn't really visit the countryside often. I just stayed in a country house every summer during my childhood. But that one was very close to the city. But in this camp, it was possible to find everything I hadn't seen for so long. Overwhelming vegetation, singing birds, and fresh air. That does sound nice. I found a needle and sat on a stump. How peaceful this place is. But where in the world is Shurik? Actually, he could have been taken against his will. This camp is far from normal, so pioneer disappearances should not be all that strange. An intriguing possibility. Could it be the work of whichever force sent me here, or is it just some separate local entities doing? Lost in my own thoughts, I didn't notice how the grass before me started moving. I looked closely and saw a squirrel. It approached me carefully and stared at my hands. Probably used to getting fed here. Sorry, friend, I don't have anything with me. Of course, the squirrel could not understand me and continued to just sit there, waiting for treats. I felt sorry for it because I didn't have even a crumb of bread in my pocket. I realized that I'm even ashamed to look at it on the eyes and decided to move on. After some more wandering, I came to the washstands. Turns out that he's not in the forest either. At least not in the surrounding area. And going farther is just frightening. I walked to the washdowns, took off my shirt, and tried to wipe myself down because I was all sweaty. However, it wasn't so easy. I won't be able to get into the wash bowl, and there isn't even a ladle. Suddenly I heard footsteps from behind. I turned around. Electronic was walking my direction. Looking for Shurik? Yes. You too? Me too. Listen, you know him better. Where could he have gone? I don't have a clue, he answered sadly. Well, I just don't understand why everyone has made such a fuss. During the night, wasn't he in the cabin with you? Then he can't have been gone for too long. Maybe he went for a walk? You don't know Shurik, said Electronic excitedly. He is fantastically dedicated to his work. His life consists of robotics and cybernetics. People like him are one in a million. No, in a billion. His talent is boundless. I look up to him. He's a man of steel. No, simply triumphant. At that moment, he looked like Hitler making a speech in front of a crowd of thousands. What a comparison. Even his gestures matched. Okay. So what?
So what? You don't understand, do you?
No. He spends all of it. You see? All of his free time in our club. All. So disappearing like that is unusual for him? Of course! Seems like Electronic calmed down. Okay. He looked at me intently. Are you going to wash? Not really. Just rinse off a little. It is hot. Me too. He looked around. I wish there was a bucket or a ladle. Something to get more water with. Yeah, I noticed already. Then let's do this. You wash me and I wash you. He walked behind washstands and pulled one of the taps. To my surprise, its end turned up, and rather than pouring into washbowl, the water splashed up at almost 90 degrees. You could manage to wash yourself that way. There we go.
Let's wash each other like real broskies.
Meanwhile, Electronic took off his shirt and then squatted, so it seemed like he pulled down his shorts. I couldn't really tell because the washstand he was behind concealed him to his waist. He directed the stream towards himself and started to sing something quietly. Let's clean my chimney, chimney sweep. What does that mean? I stood astonished, not knowing what to do. What do you mean clean your chimney? What do you mean clean your He seemed to notice it. I'll wash myself and then let you use it. Gosh, I got such a massive chill. Oh, you know. I just remembered that I have something to do. Gotta go. Out of all the eccentricities of Electronic, the moment I just saw was the weirdest one. Hey, what's up with you? A cold shower on such a hot day is like the best thing ever. No. That won't do. And anyway, I have to go. I put on my shirt quickly and ran back into the forest. I literally ran away. I wonder what's got into him. That was an experience. What a coward. Okay, where are we going next? I'll pull. Bus stop. Room 17 or boat house. Where are you going? Where are we going? Room 17? Room 17? House. Sorry. Sorry for my spelling. Where are you going? Room 17 or boot flowers? Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a draw. I'll give you more time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and pull. Room 17. Okay, there we go. But it's still a stupid idea. If Shurik was hiding anywhere in the camp, he would have been found by now. Of course, assuming he wants to be found. So I hardly think I can help them. Together with these thoughts, I entered the cabin and stretched myself on the bed. I went to my room. Nothing good will happen if Oregon Mutina finds me here. Stop. Enough. Am I just some trembling creature, or do I have rights? I didn't want to do anything anyway. The day was just as hot as the previous ones, and the only thing to do was to stay in bed and wait for lunch. I was just falling asleep when somebody knocked on the door. Come in. Slavia stood on the doorstep. I got Dmitrievna isn't here, is she? No. And what are you doing? She asked with suspicion. I looked over myself, lying on the bed, and said, I'm down. I can see that. They heard Olga Dmitrievna ask you to find Shurik. Oh, yes. And? What's the point? So mean. I'm sure she already turned the whole camp upside down. Not much time has passed. Why should we panic? You know, stuff could happen. Slavia looked at me thoughtfully. Get up. Do I have to? I was so worn out that even the thought of going somewhere frightened me. Yes, you do. Slavia is not a person who I could ever say no to. I stood up reluctantly and went out of the cabin with her. We stood at the doorway for some time, relaxing in the beams of the summer sun. Though that was rather frying. Where shall we go? We have to look everywhere. Great idea, just great. The first stop on our route was the library. Slavia went to Zhenya, sitting at the table, and spoke to her. I just stood in the doorway. I didn't want to communicate with this librarian any more than necessary. A few minutes later, Slavia came back to me. So? Nothing. She shook her head. As expected. The canteen. We still had time before lunch starts, so there was no usual crowd of pioneers. It was empty inside and outside of the building. While Slavia was talking to cooks, I was sitting and playing with the salt shaker. Some salt spilled out of the pot. Certainly, I would be worried if I was superstitious. Strangely enough, he wasn't here either. It would be unexpected if she had found him, for instance, in the refrigerator. Cut it to burgers. The next stop, according to our plan, was the infirmary. I decided not to go inside and waited outside for Slavia. No results. There were pioneers playing football on the sports ground. It would be hard for sure to get lost among them. Finally, we reached the clubhouse. You think he could be here? I think that's the first place people would have searched. Let's go in. Empty inside. But maybe we can find some clues! Slavia opened the door and went into the next room. I followed her. This all seemed to me like a stupid undertaking. This was strange, especially because it was Slavia's idea. I mean, I understand responsibility and so on, but isn't it obvious that he isn't in the camp? After all, he isn't playing hide and seek with us, is he? No one's here either. What did you expect? He'll be sitting in a closet? Well, it seems like I've offended her. Sorry. But seriously, I understand. But we have to check all possibilities. Look, listen, what do you really think? About Shurik's disappearance? Yes. Maybe he went into the forest and has been caught by a forest spirit. She laughed at that. What a fabulous story. However, in this camp you never know. Yes, true that. But now isn't the time for jokes. Cheer up. We'll find him. I hope so. Slavia smiled. I still have some things to do. See you later. She left, but I was standing there for some time, staring at the cybernetics club's closet. I went for lunch with mixed feelings, with a sense of accomplishment and with a realization of time wasted. The canteen was crowded. I couldn't stay unnoticed. Olga Dmitrievna called me. Semyon, come with us. The camp leader, Slavia, and Electronic were sitting at the 4-seat table. I nodded and went to get my food. This time I had to spend several minutes on the queue. Today's menu didn't really differ from the other day's menus. The dishes looked the same at least. When I sat at the table and wished bon appetit to everyone, Olga Dmitrievna said, "So, what are you thinking?" "About what?" "We searched for Shurik all around. It's noon and he's nowhere to be found." I took a note of the rhyme, but didn't want to point it out. We looked all over the camp. I went all around the neighboring forest. Olga Dmitrievna looked at me. "And I helps too." "We must call the police." "Maybe we should wait until the evening?" I asked lazily. He doesn't care at all. "Maybe he went home." "That can't be. Shurik lives thousands of miles away." "By train?" "The nearest station," she paused, "is far off." Now it was getting interesting. Every time the conversation reached the point of concerning ways I could leave Savionek, all the camp inhabitants started changing the subject. How far is far? Really far. The camp leader looked at me, indicating with her expression that asking more questions was not advised. "So we should go deeper into the forest. Maybe he got lost." "Shurik always takes a compass," chimed in Electronic. "I wonder what else could be found in his magic vest, assuming he has one. If I were to get lost in the forest, a compass would be of no real use." "Police! We should call the police in the evening." "Not right now, at least." "Okay, so you'll do it later." They were all silent. "We should be able to find him before evening. We still have time." If he actually got lost, we have no time to lose." "We cannot be sure." "Then where is he? Where?" There was some truth to the camp leader's words. Hiding the whole day just like that is suspicious. Why would he do that? Shurik seemed to me to be quite a serious pioneer. Uliana would have been a better fit for this behavior. So there is good reason to believe that he was gone. All that can be done has already been done. We'll just have to wait. Slavia, Electronic, and Olga Dmitrievna looked at me sorrowfully, but I didn't say a word. I finished my lunch, took the tray back, and left the canteen. It's still the first half of the day. What now? The camp was drifting off for an afternoon nap. Only Ganda stared at me through his glasses. Of course, he was staring somewhere else, but I had a feeling that he was constantly watching me. I bet he knows where Shurik is hiding. Let's ask him! He just can't say anything. The disappearance of the Cybernetics Club's leader made me think. Maybe it's got something to do with my case? Oh, Pioneer! The nurse stood in front of me. I looked at her curiously. Go and take my place in the infirmary. I have an urgent call. Somebody's injured. Me? Yes, you. Take the keys. The nurse threw me the keys and ran away. Why me? Isn't there anyone else in this camp? What exactly should I be doing? What if something happens? Oh, what do I do now? I miss my chance to refuse. I stood in front of the door uncertainly. On the one hand, there is nothing to worry about. I'll spend half an hour or so here and she'll be back. But what if someone comes for actual help? With a broken leg or a head injury? I began to worry too much. I hope that there are no injuries more serious than bruises and scratches in this camp. But at the same time, I could not shake the idea that in a serious situation I would be absolutely useless. I don't even know how to perform CPR. A magazine on the nurse's table caught my attention. A good way to relax.
I guess. This is labeled Soviet fashion. The publication date or month were absent. However, this was not a surprise. There were much stranger things happening here. I didn't know much about Soviet magazines. Maybe they actually didn't have publication dates on them. Models dressed in old-fashioned clothes stared at me from the glossy pages. Nowadays, nobody would wear such clothes, I smirked. I wonder if Slaya, for example, considered this fashionable. I can only imagine what would happen if she appears in my town wearing something like this. Imagine we're walking hand in hand. I'm wearing my coat with the hood and she's dressed in a lavish dress covered with lace and things. Seems like I'm already imagining Slavia in my world with me. And not only Slavia. This dress pairs with Soliana. This cute saffron would look good on Alisa. This skirt and cardigan would look nice on Lena. And only they could be real. If only they could be real. No, I saw them, heard them, could even touch them. But still they are here and I simply don't belong in this place. It's alien to me. I'm just waiting for a chance to get out of here. Waiting because nothing is up to me anymore. I sighed, put my head on the table and fell asleep. He falls asleep so easily. I was awoken by the noise of the door opening. Lena stood at the door. Yesterday I promised to help her in the infirmary. Oopsie doopsie! And whose fault is this? Whose fault is this, Stardust? Who promised too many things at the same time? Who promised too many things at the same time? Now it's time to confront the consequences. My cheeks became scarlet shortly and I turned away pretending that I'm busy. The nurse isn't here? Then I'll come back later. I'm substituting for her. Since I'm responsible for pioneers' lives, I should do it with full responsibility. Although in fact I was just afraid of something bad happening because of me. Any health complaints? I tried to give Lena the most professional smile I could in order to not to confuse her. Nothing special, just a little headache. Let's do this. Some painkillers maybe. Of course I wasn't aware where to find required medicines, so it took me a while to find them. Finally! I handed a metamizole tablet to Lena. Hopefully it's just a painkiller. Metamizole. Thanks. She smiled. That was completely unexpected and I lost touch with reality, staring at her. What? Lena turned awkward in an instant. Listen, I've been wondering, do you like this? I don't know what got into me, but I grabbed that magazine from the table and showed her that picture of a skirt and a cardigan, which would really suit Lena in my opinion. Maybe I went completely nuts, thinking about all the girls being in my world. Or maybe I wanted to distract myself instead of just waiting for the nurse to come back. Lena looked at the picture. Yes, I guess. Is stuff like this in fashion? I guess. She got confused and started blushing. Why do you ask? Really, why? Flirt. Just asking. Paul. What are you doing? Metamizole. What's a funny word? What is the metamizole? Flirt? Of course we're flirting. 83% flirt. Oh, of course we're flirting. Or not. Just asking. Are we flirting? What are we doing? You decide. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're flirting. I think it looked gorgeous in it. Thank you. It's alright, I'm just being completely honest. We're quiet for some time. How's your headache?
Much better, thank you.
She smiled.
I'll be off.
Good luck. Then I went out and I continued to look through the magazine. After a while, somebody knocked at the door again. Seems that the infirmary is the most popular place to go. Suddenly I decided to roleplay a nurse. Just a male version. And said, "Come in!" The door opened and Oriana entered the room. Oh, did I miss the moment when you decided to start knocking?
Anything wrong with me knocking?
She frowned. Where does it hurt?
Why on earth would I tell you? Where's the nurse?
Right in front of you. I imposingly crossed my legs and looked questioningly at her.
I'd better go. It'd be better to die than be treated by you.
She smiled mischievously. You didn't even let me try. Oriana thought for a moment.
Though you could give me some pills.
What's bothering you? It took her some time to reply.
A heavy stomach.
Sure it's not an empty head? I muttered under my breath.
What did you say?
Nothing, give me a second. I found the pills in the first drawer I opened.
Thank you, doctor.
She smiled cheerfully. Watching Oriana, I could not imagine how such an optimistic and active child could have any health problems. Huh. Are we being mean?
Candy overdose? Put poison in?
Candy overdose, so you decided to be mean? You decided to be mean to her? It's not mean, it's playful, are you sure? You sure about that? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pull. Overdose of stealing candies, right? She gave me a baleful look.
No, I left everything for you.
Oriana ran out of the infirmary and slammed the door. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. And Therese in hot stardust. Again, I went back to studying Soviet fashion trends. Time passed, but the nurse was still absent. Oh, did I finish the poll? Or is it still on? Oh, yes, end the poll now. I wasn't searching for Shurik, wasn't looking for any clues concerning my situation. I was just sitting and flipping through a magazine. Just for a moment I felt quite satisfied with the situation. So far everything that has happened here could be seen as just a trip to a summer camp, and if nothing changed anytime soon then I can start worrying. Again somebody knocked the door. Did I miss the outbreak of an epidemic? Sly was standing at the doorway.
Oh, hi.
Isn't the nurse here? Hi, no, she's not here. I'm taking over for today.
Right. I'd like...
She hesitated. Wait.
By the way, Simeon.
Sly was sad and looked intently at me. Wait.
It seems like I lost my keys. Have you seen them anywhere?
Sure I have. Yes, here, I found them near the canteen yesterday. I wanted to return them to you, but forgot about it. Oh, I forgot about the keys. I was really bad at lying. My cheeks were red, my eyes were wandering around, and hands were constantly shaking. Here. I was already preparing myself for an appropriate scolding, but Slavia only took the keys and said, "Thanks." So what have you come for? I really needed to change the subject. Does anything hurt?
No, it's nothing.
Strange. I wouldn't even think that such an open person as Slavia would keep something quiet. If there's something bothering you, tell me. That's why I'm here, to treat people. I smiled widely. No. I mean, yes, but no. Hearing that made anything possible, even division by 0. So, how can I help you? You? I guess you can't. She smiled and was going to leave, but suddenly stopped. However, could you step out for a minute? Why not? Okay. I stepped out of the infirmary and leaned against the wall. I wonder what might she be doing, something that I can't even see? After a minute, the door opened and Slavia came out. She was carrying a small bundle. I mean, I know. Do you know? Would you ask or would you not? Ask? Not ask. Up to you. Up to you. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. As a gentleman, I should ask. Okay. What is it? Nothing. She blushed. Thank you. You're welcome. You didn't get an answer anyway. Slavia ran away. Seems like I shouldn't have asked. Again with the anti-Riz Stardust. I looked at the time. It was getting late. I'd read the magazine backwards and forwards, but the nurse still wasn't here. Suddenly the door burst open and Alisa rushed inside. She looked at me piercingly. What are you doing here? Sitting, I admitted honestly. Okay then. It's even better without the nurse, she murmured. Are you sick? I asked icily. Alisa didn't answer and came closer to me. Move over. Why? So I can open the drawer, isn't it obvious? What for? She got angry. None of your business. Well, I'm kinda in charge here. She gave it a moment's thought. Then give me some activated carbon. Stomachache? Yeah. She grinned sharply. I got the feeling there was something wrong here. Okay. Give. Not give. Are we giving? Must give. For Alisa, anything. You really do like Alisa, huh? I think at this point we are doing the Alisa road. Let's give her. Okay. Let's give her them. But you never know. What if she really has an ache? Okay. I reached into the drawer and got out of a packet of activated carbon. Thanks! She wrested it from my hand and ran away. It was 15 minutes till dinner, and the nurse still wasn't back. I guess just leaving the place like this won't do. She asked me to look after it after all. And who knows what might happen if I leave. Though, who wants to steal anything from here? Except for Lisa steal an activated carbon, and she didn't even have to steal it, we just gave it to her. I opened the magazine again and began flipping through it for the nth time. The fashions of the 80s weren't that fun anymore. Yawning got me several times. It was already 6 o'clock, so dinner has already started. Of course, I had to be on the watch till the end, but my stomach seemed to have its own opinion on the matter. I stood up steadily and steadily headed to the exit. A rustling sound came from behind the door. Could it be someone else got poisoned, broke their arm, or something even worse? I sighed heavily and pulled the doorknob. However, there was no one out there. Seems it was just my imagination. Strange. I turned inside and instantly noticed that something had changed in the infirmary. To be precise, an apple had appeared on the table. An apple? But where from? Fruits can't just materialize from thin air by themselves, can they? Though in this camp, anything is possible. Chances are someone just brought it here. Maybe Lena wanted to thank me. Even though she's all shy and... But wait! How could she just slip past me like that? Lena wouldn't climb through the window after all. So there must be something else. I was suddenly overwhelmed by fear. What if the apple was poisoned? Though, why would someone complicate things when I'm here totally helpless and can be killed way more easily? Or, I might be the apple which Eve tasted in the Garden of Eden? In that case, I certainly shouldn't eat it. The same second my stomach reminded me it was there with rumbling, but rumbling traitorously. However, it would take time to close the infirmary, to reach the canteen, to get food. My stomach is about to eat itself. There's nothing wrong, I guess. Once again, I tried to remember if this apple was here before. In the end, it must have appeared from somewhere. Maybe it got here through the window? The shutter was slightly open. So, someone must have reached and put it in here. Nothing serious, however. It. No, it. Do not sus? So we're just starving? We always end up starving. Cross-examination to the apple. I'm not sure we can do this in this game. I'm not sure we can do that here. Starve dust. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Eat. YOLO. Eat the apple. Finally, hunger prevailed, and I started chewing on the ripe green apple with gusto. Its taste seemed normal. Though I don't think that even the strongest poison can be tasted. But it's too late to think about that. It was time to go for dinner. Along the way, I ran into electronic. How's it going? Did you find Shurik? No, still no sign of him. Don't worry. We'll find him. I tried to cheer him up. Too much time has passed. I'll just keep on searching. What about dinner? No, finding Shurik is more important. He muttered thoughtfully. I left him at the crossroads and wished him good luck. Pioneers crowded in the doorway. I quickened my pace, trying not to be the last one in the line, at least for today. And I was lucky. In the far corner was an absolutely empty table. I took my dinner quickly and sat at the table. Tonight's dinner consisted of fruit soup and a pair of buns. Fruit soup? That sounds very nice. This had surprised me at first, but the taste was actually nice. I concentrated on eating. Oh, Miku!
Lena, let's go here. Look, 3 free chairs.
Lena and Miku stood in front of me.
Are these taken?
Wondered Lena. No, take a seat. Of course, I wish you were alone. Oh my god! So mean to Miku, why?
Thank you.
As soon as Lena said that, Zhenya jumped out from behind her back. I'll sit here. There are no places left, she said, putting her tray on the table and sitting down, not even waiting for my answer. Sure, make yourself at home, I muttered sorrowfully. What? Nothing. To tell the truth, I wanted to reduce the whole company to just Lena, so neither Miku nor Zhenya were causing much trouble. Except one was too talkative and the other was too arrogant. But nevertheless, they were absolutely harmless, especially comparing to some others I could name.
Oh, seems like I forgot my key. Don't worry, take mine.
I was surprised by Miku's short reply. Do you live together?
Of course, didn't you know? Together, our cabin is the rearmost. I mean, the farthest from here. I mean, the last one.
I wouldn't have been surprised if somebody told me that Lena lived with Slavia. Or with Zhenya at worst, even electronic. But silent and shy Lena and excessively talkative Miku as a pair. That's really a surprise.
Did you find Shurik?
It's strange that Zhenya is disturbed by someone's problems. No. Surely he's at the village buying cigarettes. Cigarettes? Or vodka? She snorted. Snort. Village? At that moment, the conversation got much more interesting.
Got a problem with villages?
Zhenya looked amazed. You mean there's a village nearby? I think so, she said uncertainly. I looked at Lena and Miku, but they were busy with their meals and didn't pay attention to our conversation. You mean you don't know exactly? Why should I care? Zhenya stared at her dish. Well, there must be something nearby. Listen. Listening? I don't know. Will you let me eat? Seems like I won't get anything from her. Though there is a chance that she really doesn't know. The remaining time was spent listening to Miku talking about some nonsense. I was just going slowly mad in silence. Obviously, the first thing I did after getting out after that was inhale a great breath of fresh air. The sun was setting. I decided to take a walk. It's highly unlikely that I will find anything more exciting to do for the rest of the evening. That way, something interesting could arise quite unexpectedly. I was approaching the square when I heard a loud bang. What do you think this is? Do you think it's our fault? I think it is. It seemed like something had exploded. I was paralyzed. I am in a hostile environment, not knowing the rules and laws of this place. It would be better for me to run, but at the same time I was curious. Probably I would have just kept standing there, but somebody grabbed my hand. It was Olga Dmitrievna. Why are you standing here? Let's go and see what happened. Can't you ever manage without me? I begged her pitifully. It shouldn't be anything serious, I hope. When we came to the square, there was already a crowd of pioneers. Olga Dmitrievna vigorously passed through the crowd and approached the crime scene. Obviously, someone had tried to blow up Genda! But the attackers failed. The monument was still standing upright. There were only dim ash traces on the pedestal. Well, who did this? She looked over the crowd of pioneers. Surely it wasn't done by an organized terrorist organization. These guys all came here just to look at what happened. And I noticed Juliana and Alyssa in the crowd. And it looks like our camp leader nudges them too. You two, come here! They approached reluctantly.
Why always me?
If you think so. Show me your hands, Dvachevskaya.
What's wrong with them?
I looked closer and saw that they were smeared with black. Now it's clear. What did you make a bomb with? The junior terrorist seemed to hesitate over whether or not to confess, but then blurted out proudly. Activated carbon, saltpeter, and sulfur. Why exactly the monument? What did this honored man ever do to you? The fighter for the rights of... Besides, he gave me activated carbon. Oh. She pointed at me with her finger. The whole square stared at me. We only make bad decisions. Thoughts about the pointlessness of this act due to the small bomb size left me at the very moment. She stole it. I did nothing. Even if he gave it to you, I'm sure that Simeon would never take part in such disgusting antisocial act. Yes, exactly. I agreed. I could hardly imagine how long she would have kept on scolding Alyssa if Electronic hadn't popped out at the very moment, shouting, I found it! Everyone turned towards him. He held a boot in his hand. Here! Electronic boastfully shook it over his head. It's Shurik's boot. Okay, calm down. Tell us in detail where you found it. In the forest. On the way to the old camp. Whispers ran among the pioneers. Old camp, the old camp. Are you sure? Absolutely! What's so special about the old camp? I joined the conversation. It's nothing special, really, she stammered. One of the Sovyonic's legends tells the story of a young camp leader's ghost living there. She fell in love with a pioneer, but he rejected her, and so she killed herself.
She committed harakiri with a kitchen knife.
Next day, the boy was hit by a bus. Juliana ran out of the crowd. Bus? I refrained from asking about the route number. But science doesn't acknowledge the existence of ghosts, so we have nothing to be afraid of. Anyway, somebody should go there. Suddenly the crowd started to thin out.
I'll admit it's almost night.
Maybe tomorrow. I turned around and saw Slavia and Lena. What if at night? What if at night something happens to him? No, today, right now. By the way, where's this place? Electronic truthfully described to me the directions and told me the story of the old camp. The camp leader looked at me attentively. If you think that you're the only man here. I looked around the area. Of course, Electronic was quick to flee. He just escaped. I still didn't want to walk in the woods alone. If you ask me, I would. Oh, whoa, 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 oh, whoa, whoa. Okay, we have 5 choices. Go alone won't be an option. We will go with one of the girls.
Who? Alyssa. Slavia. Uliana.
Lena, who are we going with? Pick. Choose. Pick, choose. With Uliana? With the brat?
Juliana or Alisa? Oh, Alisa? Team Alisa's winning. Team Juliana is winning again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pull. We're going with Juliana. It seems that her thirst for adventure has its limits too. Am I going there alone? Olga Dmitrievna looked thoughtful. Perhaps you're right. We'll go together tomorrow morning. Ah, what? We stood in silence for some time, then dispersed around the camp. Everybody seemingly forgot about Alisa and her terrorist act. Maybe due to minor damage it caused. Brad Bros win? No, not win. we can't. We can't go with her. Together with the camp leader, I went towards our cabin. I tried to think of why Shorik would go to the old camp. He is interested in robots and cybernetics, not scary stories and ghosts. What does that boot have to do with that? I remembered how I decided to wait until something extraordinary would happen. And then I realized, this is it. Olga Dmitrievna, I think I'll take a walk before bed. Just not a long one. Okay. When I reached the square, I understood that hanging around in the forest or some other strange place might not be that scary. But doing so in the dark. I didn't want to return to Olga Dmitrievna's cabin, but I had to find a flashlight. For instance, there was one in the infirmary. I was glad I didn't spend my whole time there reading a fashion magazine. The flashlight was found quickly, and in few minutes I was again standing at the square, pulling myself together. I just had to make the final decision before I entered the forest. Moving past the pioneers' cabins, down the forest path towards the abandoned camp, I set forth. Electronic told me that the old building was built immediately after the war. It looked like a kindergarten, or like a barracks I expected, and definitely could hold fewer pioneers than today's camp. It had been abandoned for about 20 years. It was now totally dark. The forest looked totally different at night. Mysterious shadows were hiding behind the trees, strange rustlings and the cries of night birds coming from everywhere, branches treacherously snapping under my feet. The full moon was shining, so I decided to save the battery in the flashlight. I'm sure I will need it sometime soon, so in the end I'm going alone. The further I moved, the more unpleasant things came into my head. I wasn't a friend of the dark at all. I didn't believe in ghosts and other mystical crap, but at the same time, during the last few days I'd encountered so many incomprehensible phenomena that against my own will, I started to read between the lines of the simplest things. Obviously, I felt exceptionally uneasy in the forest at night. Everywhere I looked, every shadow, every tree or bush looked like weird creatures, escaping straight from horror movies or from Stephen King novels. A branch seemed to be someone's hand, eager to grab your shoulder. A fallen log, someone's dead body, someone who failed to get out of the forest. In every gully I saw a bottomless abyss. If I had found myself in this forest under any other circumstances, without all these bosses and pioneer camps, of course I would still feel uncomfortable. But then I would be able to explain everything with logic and be afraid of nothing except for owls and mice, of course. But at the moment there were more than enough reasons to fear. Despite all this, I reached the old camp without any adventures. In a little glade surrounded by trees stood a house resembling a kindergarten. Paint built off the walls. Almost all the windows were broken masonry here and there, holes in the roof that looked like those made by bombing.
In front of the building was a little garden, surrounded by a rusty fence. Apparently once it was a playground with a merry-go-round, swing slides, and other Soviet attractions. But time is cruel. All of them were broken and mutilated by corrosion. The grass was so tall that it almost came up to my waist. Creepy scary. The moon looked out from behind the clouds and illuminated the old camp. It seemed like everything came back to life. Windows shone with new glass and walls looked like they'd been painted with fresh paint. I heard playful laughter. I actually heard playful laughter. Saw translucent children joyfully running and frolicking in the yard. A strict camp... Oh my god, I'm hallucinating! A strict camp leader on the threshold, holding a basket with ripe apples in her hands. The old cleaning lady taking a nap in the shade. It sent chills down my spine. Of course my imagination was just playing tricks, but the old camp itself was so similar to all the post-apocalyptic pictures I had seen that those visions were no surprise. I stood undecided for a long time before I dared to go further. After all, I'm here to find Shurik. Though I still don't get what he might be doing here. If he even is here. A boot somewhere nearby doesn't mean anything. However, he was not eaten by wolves. For some reason it seemed like there were no wolves in this forest. This must be the only place where he might be hiding. I carefully crossed the yard, pushing the tall grass apart and trying not to bump into a jagged piece of metal. But I stopped in a doorway, hesitating. An impenetrable heavy darkness stared back at me from inside. Even the bright moonlight could not illuminate any object, or even highlight a silhouette. My head was filled up with different thoughts. That all said that it's better for me to not go any further and run away quickly. But I pulled myself together, turned on the flashlight and stepped over the threshold. Blah, 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 blah. Inside the building looked like a typical kindergarten. I still remember my childhood days and so everything here looked very familiar. Sleeping room with lines of beds standing close to each other, a large playroom, toilets, a dining room, and utility rooms. Signs of the past children's joy were seen everywhere. From time to time, the flashlight drew my attention to a decaying doll, or a plastic toy car, or a punctured rubber ball, or a broken rank of tin soldiers. There was a book on a table, faded with age. I flipped through the pages. It was a story I had read a long time ago, back in my childhood. Something about the war. Enemies destroyed the kindergarten and all of its kids hid in the little basement together with a bunch of adults, while bombs were exploding up on the surface. I don't remember the end of the story, but as far as I remember, nobody died. Looking at the illustrations, all the emotions, fear, sadness, sympathy for the poor children, and the sense of hopelessness which I had experienced while reading this book came over me. It's strange that under exactly these conditions, right here and now, that I found this book. Probably there is somebody who manages this ongoing story, who writes the scenario for this absurd play, who sews costumes for the local pioneers, and creates sets like this abandoned camp. To tell the truth, he is very talented. Attention is paid to even the most minor of details. Although this place was abandoned long time ago, everything here seemed to be untouched. Of course, time didn't spare this camp. In so many years, it had often been visited by the locals. A perfect place for young people just hitting puberty. They could drink alcohol, indulge in amorous pleasures, or simply burn everything down just for fun. Electronic mission displays is full of legends. Legends of ghosts and devils living here. Take, for example, the story about the camp leader who committed suicide. In my world, nobody would believe that this could stop somebody. But in this reality, anything is possible. Certainly, the fear didn't disappear, but I decided that since I'd come here, I was going to carry on to the end. The building was small, so it wasn't difficult to search it completely. But I didn't find any sign of Shurik. Maybe I should just call out to him? But on the other hand, maybe that's not such a good idea. Frustrated, I sat on a bench in the lobby and sighed. "Ghost, where are you?" I asked the camp. And all of a sudden I noticed a strange depression in the corner. A small trapdoor. An adult who would barely be able to squeeze through it. And it seemed to me that it had been recently opened as the dust was cleared around it. And so here's the part where I needed to be scared. So, Shurik went somewhere. What might be lurking beneath the trapdoor? A basement? What would he be doing there? I pulled open the hatch and pointed the flashlight into the darkness. There was a ladder going down a couple of meters, ending in a concrete floor. There was a long, narrow corridor disappearing in the darkness. I hesitated for a long time. On the one hand, I had absolutely no desire to go down there, but on the other hand, if Shurik was really there, I swore loudly and began to descend. Downstairs, it was so dark that even the flashlight didn't help much. A low ceiling, wires extending along the walls, broken lamps clad on iron bars. I've seen it all somewhere. I slowly started to move deeper in the dungeon. The path went down and after a few dozen meters ended at a stairway with high steps. Soon I found myself in front of a massive metal door. There was a sign painted on it. I looked closely and realized that it was a biohazard sign. No wonder, if the old camp was built after the war and it lasted until the 70s. So it's an ordinary bomb shelter and there is nothing to be afraid of. However, those thoughts made me even more scared. I made a decision and opened the door, which immediately shut with a sharp sound as soon as I stepped through the doorway. I shuddered strongly. My hands began to tremble and my vision dimmed. I regained consciousness after a few seconds, and only then did I realize that apparently a strong spring was attached to the door. I found myself in quite a spacious room. In the beam of the flashlight, I could see a bunk bed, some cabinets along the walls, and several devices of unknown purpose located in the far corner. It seems that this bomb shelter has never been used. Nobody ever came here. The beds were made, which is strange in itself. I carefully looked around the room several times. The cabinets were filled with gas masks, chemical protective suits, dry rations, various domestic odds and ends. The devices which I at first could determine the purpose of were gauges of radiation, air pressure, and temperature. In short, it was a typical bomb shelter. I'd never been in such a place before, but it was how I'd imagined it. The only thing that remained unexplored was the door at the other end of the room. I pulled the handle, but the door remained closed. If someone recently came down here and he wasn't found in this room, then it would be logical to assume that he is behind this door. I called out and whispered, "Shurik?" No reply. Maybe he locked himself out. But why? It wasn't clear what I should do next. Perhaps it would be smarter to come back tomorrow with help, but for some reason I had a feeling that behind this door I would find answers that can't wait to be found. I walked across the room and took a crowbar from the corner. I wedged it under the bottom of the door and tried to rip it from its hinges. Oddly enough, after a while, I did just that. After a while, I did just that. Fortunately, it wasn't as massive as the previous door. Oh my god. The door gave out and slammed onto the floor. I took a deep breath and pointed in the flashlight down the passage. How did he even do that? A corridor vanished in the darkness, the same as the one on which brought me here. The walls were closing in. My head almost touched the ceiling, but I could not make out the end of the corridor. I walked carefully, looking at the ground. This was the reason that I did not fall into the pit. The hole was about 1.5 meters in diameter, and there was earth at the bottom of it instead of concrete. It seems that the hole was caused by an explosion. It wasn't too deep. I could easily climb out later. Where are we heading? After I jumped into the hole, I found myself in something that resembled an old mine. I would already get lost here. The walls on the ceiling were reinforced with wooden beams. The tunnel was so strong that my flashlight was insufficient. A few minutes later, I found myself at the crossroads. It's too dangerous to go any further. I could get lost. I decided that it would be a good idea to somehow mark the place from which I could begin my journey into the labyrinth. So I picked up a stone and made quite a big notch on the wall. So... okay, go right. It seems that there is another fork in the road. Go right. Go right. Oh? Finally, I walked out of the tunnel into a rather large hall with a high ceiling. Though it could hardly be called a hall. They must have used to mine something here. Coal probably, or maybe gold. The walls had been cut by pickaxes and pneumatic drills. This place was pitch black, so my only salvation was the flashlight. If it breaks, it's unlikely that I'll ever get out of here. Ah, that's creepy! In a tray of lights, I suddenly spotted a piece of red cloth. A pioneer's neckerchief. Shurik was obviously here somewhere. Shurik! Shurik! Only my echo answered me. But where could he have gone? There was no other way out. Maybe there are other places in these tunnels that I didn't see. So I should search further. Right? Right. And right. Oh. Around one last turn, a door appeared from the darkness. Always go to the right. I opened it and went inside the small room. Nobody was here except... Hello? Shurik, who sat in the corner? Shurik? He stared at me with eyes full of terror. Ah! Don't come near me! Shurik, it's me, Simeon. I won't give up so easily. He grabbed a piece of reinforced bar from behind his back and started waving it around. Shurik, what's wrong with you? Calm down. First you bring me here, then you take me through this mine, and now you're pretending to be Simeon. You must have gone completely nuts. Shurik, calm down. Nobody's pretending to be me. I really am me. I tried to talk as calmly as I could, but I was almost feeling more nervous than him. Simeon? He squinted. Is it really you? Yes, and now tell me what happened. How did you get here? Shurik recovered his breath and started to talk. I needed some parts for the robot. And I heard that there's a bomb shelter in the old camp. And there could be some instruments there. So I got up in the morning and went. He stopped for a minute, trying to deal with the trembling of his hands. I found suitable parts, but then... I read primal fear in his eyes. The voices. They told me to go here. I went down the mine. Then they were telling me to go to the right, then left, then right, then left, then right, then left. He started to laugh hysterically. But now they want to get me. I'll stay sitting here. They won't find me here. He once again started to wave his pipe in the air. Shurik, there's no one there. I wasted quite a lot of time walking in the mine like you, but I didn't hear any voices. He fixed his eyes on me. Then you're with them! What the heck? Shurik! Ah! Shurik thrashed towards me. I was just barely able to dodge him. But the flashlight wasn't as lucky and took the full force of Shurik's blow. It's over. We found ourselves in complete darkness. Now it was my turn to lose my mind. What have you done, you idiot? I lashed out with my hand in the direction where I expected Shurik to be, but to no avail. Now we will both die here! I got nothing but silence in return, and then a quiet hysterical laugh. It's alright, that's fine. I know where the exit is, follow me. Follow you where? I can't see a damn thing. Follow my voice. I had no other choice. Here. Shurik's voice was heard from somewhere further on. How do you know where to go? I walked all over here. Then why didn't you leave? The voices. Quiet! They can't hear us! What the fuck? In theory, I could believe that there are some supernatural forces here. In the Savyuna camp, they'd just be a daily occurrence. But there was no reason to panic yet, though my hands were shaking non-stop. Here. I slowly followed his voice and eventually lost track of time. We could have been roaming for a few minutes or a few hours. Finally, a dim light appeared in the distance. We're here. We reached the wall. The way towards freedom was blocked by a lattice of the ceiling. I pulled myself up and recognized the square from the bits of landscape I could see. Lift me up! Shurik obediently followed my request. I started to hit the grating with my fist so hard that in just a few strikes my arms were all covered in blood. But in return, the grating gave way and pushed open. We're free! A minute later, we were out on the surface behind the monument of Genda. When I saw this grating before, I had no idea that there could be catacombs below it. They will come for you. I fell to the ground exhausted. Who? They will come. Said Shurik again and ran away. Oh my god. He lost it. I was so exhausted that I could not even be bothered thinking about some voices or recalling the Forsaken camp, the bomb shelter, or the mine. Almost unconscious, I reached the camp leader's cabin. But I couldn't go to bed right away. Well, look who's here! Olga Dmitrievna. I started tiredly, attempting to cut the explanation to a minimum. You said you were going for a walk, but instead... And I was going to go and call the police! And... Olga Dmitrievna, can it wait until tomorrow? I'm really tired. The camp leader eyed me all over. Okay, fine. I was a bit surprised that she agreed so fast, but decided not to waste this opportunity and quickly turned the light off and darted under the covers. Time to eat. Day 5. Should we end here? Yes, we are ending here. Because last time we streamed 2 nights. And this time too. So. Save game. And I will leave you with the intrigue. Until the next week. Save game. Yes. Okay, nice. Why the days are in a computer? I wonder if that means something. Or if it doesn't, I wonder. Cliffhanger. Yeah, cliffhanger. Until the next week.
Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. Are you enjoying the game? Hmm? Strawdust? Are you enjoying the game? Yes, definitely. I'm glad. It started to get more interesting. Huh? Even a bit creepy. What's happening in that camp? I wonder. And what ending will we get? I wonder. Sure, it's cool. I'm glad you're liking it. It's a lot of fun. It has some nice art. Yeah, that is true. Has nice music and backgrounds still. Yes, that's the thing I like the most, probably. The music and the backgrounds in this game. Had a fun time with our schizophrenic. Oh, Shulik, what happened to you? What the heck? Who hurt you, Shulik? How about a 12-hour stream? Not today! Today is not the Tamagotchi stream. It's 10 p.m. for me. And I woke up very early. So, yes, I will be ending here. So guys, tomorrow will be my day off. And on Wednesday, we have another Five Nights at Freddy's game. Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. Are you excited? I'm really liking the Five Nights at Freddy games. I'm really liking Five Nights at Freddy's. They're playing sister location. Let's go. Oh yeah. Looking forward? Me too. I'm glad you're enjoying this game. It's getting pretty intense. As a FNAF fan, I'll be there. Yeah. Let's go. Did you finish the third game at the end? We don't talk about the third game. I will finish it someday. I finished all the games, but not that one. Yes, but I will finish it someday. On stream. Someday. Okay then. So just have a nice evening and I'll see you on Wednesday. I will be, even though I don't stream tomorrow, I will be tweeting, so you don't miss me too much. Okay? Enjoy your day off. Thank you. See you soon, okay? See you on Wednesday. Riro Ron. Bye.